any of you guys remember the game TMNT Out of the Shadows? Redfly Studio came out on PC, the 360, PlayStation 3. I think it was around the time that 2012 was entering its second season. Yeah, just about every Turtles fan was like, oh my god, Turtles are finally going to get their Arkham series in video games. It was gritty, the action looked cool, music was thumping. People say thumping. But yeah, needless to say, the trailers got everyone hyped. The game comes out, and for the most part, across the board, it's a disappointment. Not to say that I didn't find some enjoyment in the game and others couldn't do the same, but across the board, majority of folks didn't like what was presented. Now, maybe this game slipped past your radar. Totally understandable, but for those of you who don't remember this game, do you remember Mutants in Manhattan? It's a similar case where we were like, okay, we went through Out of the Shadows, it didn't do too hot. Maybe this is the right direction to go. Maybe this is the apology game. Maybe this is the Turtles' grand return to video games. Everyone was hyped for the trailers again. It looked like the IDW comics. Beautiful art style, awesome animation. And then you have, on top of that, Platinum Games involved in some capacity. If you're a Bayonetta fan like me, that alone will get you hyped. Just to see that logo before Ninja Turtles is like, oh man, we're in for a ride. And once again, across the board, a disappointment. And again, let me drop my little comment in there that I do enjoy this game for certain aspects, but overall, it's not the most polished experience, let's be honest. Both of these games you can't really get your hands on in a conventional way anymore. I was lucky enough to get both games when they were readily available around the time they first dropped, so I still go back and play these games from time to time. Maybe I should talk about them in a video one day in the future. But I bring those games up to point us to where we are now, leading into the upcoming game, TMNT SHREDDER'S Revenge. Before we really dive into this topic, if you're new to the channel, could you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, hit the notification bell right next to it, and drop a like down below. Also leave a comment and talk to each other, and maybe share the video around with anyone you think may be interested in the topic. Helps me out a lot and allows me to keep making videos just like this one. We are once again in a spot where the Turtles have taken a break from gaming for a few years. They're coming back with yet another reboot, and everyone's excited. However, I just have this gut feeling that we're not going to get another Out of the Shadows. We're not going to get another Mutants in Manhattan. Now, right, how could I possibly say this with such confidence shortly after Mutants in Manhattan came out, even having Platinum Games tied to that? That alone, seeing their logo, had me think that game would have the same care, or at least to some degree a part of care put into it that went into things like Bayonetta or Astral Chain, which came out after Mutants in Manhattan. But the thing is, it was kind of like Mutants in Manhattan was a favor done for the company. Nick probably knocked on the door and was like, hey, here are the Ninja Turtles, can you make a dope game for them to help the TMNT brand expand a little bit more in the gaming scene? And then Platinum was like, yeah, sure, it'll fill our pockets so we can fund our next project like Bayonetta 3, Astral Chain. And hey, I'm sure they did get some TMNT insiders who have been working with the brand for a while to help oversee things like that, but ultimately, it wasn't your ideal way of going into turning a massive franchise into a new gaming universe. But I think change is on the horizon, and today we're going to talk about that. Can TMNT SHREDDER'S Revenge open the door for more TMNT games moving forward, and not just talking sequels, but full-on 3D games and other things of that sort? Okay, I could just feel it. I know whenever we talk about TMNT SHREDDER'S Revenge, everyone just gets so hyped for it. They're going back to the original roots in which Turtles have always succeeded, the original arcade games. I've seen some of you in the comments who talk about, oh man, I grew up with this style of gameplay. These are the Turtles games that shaped my love for not only the brand, but even gaming as a whole. And it's not like this is just a cash grab. I just don't feel that that is the mindset that they have going into this one. These developers are putting a lot of care into it, a lot of fan feedback. They want to make sure that us, the consumer, the ones that are putting down the dollars to pick up these games, are going to be satisfied with all the amount of work that they put into it. They don't want us buying this game and going like, hey man, this is kind of dookie. You know, I'm sure that they are the types that would be like, if they heard that, they would be like, man, and they would get all in their feelings, you know, because they actually care. Of course, this is just speculation. I don't know for a fact, but that's the feeling and the vibe that I get seeing how much care that they put into the trailers, that they put into talking to their fans about the game. You could just feel that they want this to succeed, and I'm pretty sure that they will, just on the fact alone that they're showing that they want to make this a great experience to cater to the fans. And with that mindset, it leads me to believe that the game will be successful, and in turn of the game being successful, people are inevitably going to want to capitalize off of that. Once there's a success in any field of the industry, you want to take that and run with it. Sorry, just gotta cut in real quick and make sure you're still watching the video if you made it all the way up to this point. Just prove to me you watched the video this long by commenting the word shadows. Go down in the comments below and type shadows. That's it, just the word shadows. It lets me know you watched the video all the way to this specific point, and it lets me know that you're the one that's been sticking around and helping me out and helping grow the channel by watching the video from start to finish. Pat yourself on the back, you're a real one. Comment that down below by itself or with another comment so we can have a big old discussion, and then click play and watch the video to the end. Look at you go, you should feel proud. Just sit back and relax, you earned it. And hit the like button too, that would be great. Now here's what got me thinking about this topic. I've seen comments on my video saying, yeah, I'm excited for Shredder's Revenge, it looks very cool, but what I really want is a 3D TMNT game, an Arkham style TMNT game. And sure, you could say, oh, we already have a good 3D TMNT game, Out of the Shadows or Mutants in Manhattan, but you'd be lying. Because I mean, they can't go out and get those games. They're not readily available for you to walk at a store and buy them, or even go online and download them right now. And even if they could, I don't believe that's the max potential that this brand has. What they mean is they want a AAA polished TMNT 3D game. Will we ever see that in our lifetime? Possibly so. I think that there is a chance we could see that within the next few years. However, we need the brand to build back up to a state to where that could be financially profitable. People need to see that that's a thing that people want. The last few years haven't been as hot for the Turtles brand as it was when the 2012 show was on and popping. Like, they were making full-fledged big budget movies in the theaters because that show was doing so well. The comics were selling like hotcakes. It was doing really well around that time. Now the brand isn't as highly regarded as it was back in the 2012 era. Of course, us being part of the Ninja Turtles fandom, us being a part of loving this franchise, we hold it up to that standard and we always see it in a shining light, but those in the general public see it fluctuate. When the 2012 show was hot, they saw Ninja Turtles everywhere. Nowadays, they don't really talk about or see them very much. You don't see Turtles in the big headlines like you see Star Wars and Marvel and DC. But I think that's going to change in the next few years when Seth Rogen drops his movie, once we get the Rise movie kicking on Netflix and stuff like that. A new live action film comes out, Shredder's Revenge is already taking that torch and running with it. And of course, companies love money. So if there is enough demand for it, the success of Shredder's Revenge could directly lead to more Ninja Turtles games in the future. I definitely think we're going to see more installments within the Shredder's Revenge format. That game isn't even out yet, and the amount of people that have been out here just screaming praises about this game just by the look of it alone is insane. So I think it's safe to say we're getting a Shredder's Revenge sequel or multiple sequels. And while I'm not saying the same developers and the same people that are creating Shredder's Revenge will be responsible for any forward 3D reboots of the gaming series for Ninja Turtles, I do think that that success will show developers like, hey man, people really want to see Ninja Turtles back in games. Like, remember the buzz that was going around the Ninja Turtles being in Injustice 2? It could be something like that, where Shredder's Revenge succeeds so much, there's some developer out there that's like, hey, we need a 3D Ninja Turtles experience for those that are asking for it. There is still like an entire side of the fan base that wants a game or like the Insomniac Spider-Man series. There are people that just straight up don't like 2D games, but love Ninja Turtles. There are multiple itches to scratch in this batch of TMNT fans. And while you can't please everybody, I think it's in their best interest to try to cater to as many fans as possible, to try to reach out and make sure that there is a game for everyone. And who knows, maybe Shredder's Revenge is all they need. Maybe they are like, hey, we're just going to do this 2D game and continue on this path. It's the place that works for Turtles. It's where we know we're safe. It's where we know we can experiment as well. Moving forward, we can keep this 2D landscape, make sure the original fans of those original arcade games are still here, but implement new gameplay mechanics in future installments to kind of spice things up every few years. But I don't know, man. I really think they're going to be in their bag. Maybe, hey, there's an entire target demographic over there that wants a 3D Ninja Turtles game within the next few years. Let's see how everything pans out with Shredder's Revenge. Let's see if there are any developers out there that are willing to take TMNT under their belt and make a 3D game. Of course, people would love to see it like Rocksteady's Batman Arkham series. Of course, people would love to see it Insomniac Spider-Man style. And maybe there is a smaller developer that can make that happen. It doesn't have to be a big AAA experience, even though that's what a lot of Turtles fans want. But even if you want to just slowly work your way up into it, get a smaller developer to make it, still 3D, still that high action, that high energy, and I'm sure that alone will please a lot of people that just want to see the Turtles in 3D. And again, until you get that, I'm sure all the people that wanted a 3D Turtles game probably already own Out of the Shadows, probably got their hands on Mutants in Manhattan when you could, and they're probably still playing it from time to time. Heck, I play it from time to time just because it's been so long since we had a Ninja Turtles game, and when I need that Turtles fix, I'm like, hey, you're not the best, but I'm craving some Turtles action, so I'm gonna pop this in my PlayStation real quick and go crazy. But let me know what you think. Do you think that there is ever a time where we will see the Turtles return to a 3D landscape? Do you think that that hinges on the success of Shredder's Revenge, or they could just out of the blue say, hey, let's just do this? If they were to do it, do you want to see it based on any existing comics? Maybe we could get an entire story-driven 3D Ninja Turtles game. Doesn't have to be open world, but a straight up linear game like The Last of Us, but following the story of the last Ronin. Ooh, cool. What do you guys want to see from a potential 3D Turtles game? If you want me to talk more about this topic so we can discuss some of the ideas you came up with, I'd be more than happy to do that in a future video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and leave a like. Comment down below and have a conversation with everyone. I'll be down there with you guys talking as well. And as always, I've been Geekly, you've been awesome, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cowabunga, dudes.